411 on Team 119. Proudly presented by Margaritaville Island Hotel and the Saint Somewhere Spa in Pigeon Forge. Exclusively on RTI TV.
Welcome to RTI TV. You're watching the 411 on Team 119, and this three-part series is brought to you exclusively by Margaritaville Island Hotel and the Saint Somewhere Spa in Pigeon Forge. I'm Reed Carringer alongside former Tennessee quarterback Erik Ainge, and we're here today to talk about the Vol quarterbacks, running backs, and offensive line. Erik, welcome to the program. You ready for this?
Pumped up, thrilled to be here. Let's have some tempo. Let's knock this out.
Well, Erik, here's the format. We've got 4 questions for you. We're going to ask for one big concern and one bold prediction for the Vols this season.
411. I get it.
You get it?
I do understand.
You do understand it. Well, that's good. Let's go. We got questions up. The one on everybody's mind is, can Joshua Dobbs live up to the hype this season?
Let me start with yes, he can. There's a few things he needs to do. One, he needs to be able to complete balls from within the pocket. Obviously, he needs to stay healthy. Staying on the throwing the ball from within the pocket. 3rd and 6 to 10, 3rd and 10 plus. Can Josh Dobbs stand in the pocket and go through it? Is he open? Is he open? Is he open? Get to number 2, get to number 3. If he can do that, most of his big plays last year were breakdowns with the line, scramble. He needs to be able to complete that tight man-to-man throw. He can do that. He'll live up to the hype.
Well, you clearly think that Joshua Dobbs can live up to the hype this season, but if he were to miss significant time, this is the second question. How does Quentin Dormady perform in that backup role, and how does that backup quarterback position as a whole shake out?
I think they're all going to play. Let me say that. When I say all, I think Dormady and Jones are both going to play. It's rare that you have a freshman quarterback play significantly or solely by himself, especially coming in with a backup role. I think Dormady will play really well. I think the fact that he's a coach's kid, all the things everyone says about Dormady, the fact that he was here early, he'll have a lot of success if he goes in. And he has a good enough players around him that they can help protect him a little bit with play calling. Jones, I don't know. I need to learn more about Jones. He's a little bit of the wild card in this situation, but like Dobbs did, he could always use his legs.
Well, last season, the Vol offensive line was the worst in the conference, hands down. So question number 3 is, how big of a concern is the play of the Vol offensive line, and how good do they have to be for Tennessee to be successful this season?
I think they need to be serviceable. I said this on the radio with you guys. You can protect one bad spot on the O-line, a left guard, a right guard. In this conference, rarely can you protect a bad tackle, but as a group, I think they can be okay. They just need to they need to keep it simple. Don't get beat inside. When you slide low. Few easy things. That way Dobbs knows, like I said, completing balls on 3rd and 10 plus, he's got to be able to remain in the pocket on 3rd and 10 plus and utilize the entire field. Yes, they can be successful. They just need to not give up that inside lane to some of these other teams with good D tackles.
Running behind that offensive line last year, Vol running back Jalen Hurd had a breakout freshman campaign. He'll be joined in the backfield by 5-star running back signee Alvin Kamara this year. Erik, how do you see the carries being split between those two?
I think we need to get used to the word touches. It doesn't matter if they run the football or catch the football. None of that really matters. It's how many times are they touching the football. I remember Auburn in 2004, they had Cadillac Williams and they had Ronnie Brown. And it didn't matter what was going on for Auburn. As long as they were on opposite sides of the field, there was nothing you could do to tackle both of them. It was going to be a back one-on-one in space. Campbell was a serviceable quarterback, ended up being a first-round draft pick. We're talking about Josh Dobbs and can he live up to the hype? Absolutely, with Hurd and Kamara in the backfield. Biggest thing too with those guys, they have an identity. If they don't care who gets the most touches, the touches will end up being about 50-50.
Now that you've answered our 4 questions about the Vols this year, Erik, it's time for you to give us your one big concern for Tennessee this season.
I think my biggest concern is the fact that we're favored in about 9 or 10 football games. Every one of these players and most of these coaches, since they've been at UT, they've been selling the underdog brick by brick, come rebuild it. Now, everyone in the country is saying it's built, and it's time to go win 10 football games. How do they respond if they don't beat Oklahoma? How do they respond if they go to the Swamp and they don't beat Florida, even though we're favored?
Erik, it's that time. What's your one bold prediction for Team 119?
It's got to be Florida. I know we haven't beat them in 10 years. I know we're favored this year. It's at the Swamp. We're supposed to beat the Gators. Yeah. If you haven't beat somebody in a decade, saying you're guaranteeing that something we're going to win that football game. It's got to be a bold prediction. I'm saying Tennessee beats Florida in the swamp, and for the first time in 10 years, we get that win.
Eric, that was a lot of fun. Thanks for joining us, and thanks to Margaritaville Island Hotel and the Saint Somewhere Spa in Pigeon Forge for making this all possible. Make sure to check back next week for another installment of the 411 on Team 119. For Erik Ainge, I'm Reed Carringer. Thanks for watching RTI TV.